All right, thank you everyone so much for coming out, especially on this rather gloomy day, but we really appreciate everyone coming out. And most of all, we're really excited to hear from the three of you. This is Rod Nevis, Eunice Lee, and Paris Mina-Pour. So these are our three special award winners from our sales kickoff. If you came to that in January, you will know that Rod won Rookie of the Year as well as O Award. Rookie of the Year signifies the agent in their first rookie year of real estate doing this highest sales earnings for their first year, calendar year in real estate. And Eunice Lee won Breakout Agent, which signifies the agent that had the largest leap in earnings from one calendar year to the next. And Paris Mina-Pour, who won Oakwyn of the Year. And that award is, of all the special awards, extra special, I would say. It's an agent who most exemplifies our core values at Oakwyn. And I'm so happy to have you as our Oakwyn of the Year. And I also wanted to say this day is also very, very special because it also marks our Oakwyn University graduation, our first of 2023. So congratulations, everyone. And another person that is a huge part of that is our Oakwyn University Dean. So thank you, Shelley.
Finished, we'll have a little celebration. There's something for each of you, and I'm very proud that 8 people got this sweater this year, which means you came to every class and every assignment on time. All of our agents that are up here today are just the hardest workers, and I think, you know, the hard work, it can be easy. We call it hard work, but the trick is making it look easy, and all 3 of these do just that. So take it away.
Thank you. All right, well, super excited. Let's keep it casual, easy, fun. We're all among friends, so let's get started. So here's a really good question that I think is a really good start for the conversation. Tell us about your start in real estate and what influenced you to want to get in the industry. Let's start with Rod.
Sure. Yeah, as you might know, my name is Rod Nevis, and I was chosen as the Rookie of the Year. And I would like to share the success that you call success. I just call it hardworking. And I believe everyone can achieve such a successful steps in the life as long as you do the hard working. Always the hard working pays off. It might take 1 year, 2 years, 20 years, but that's the real success that if you continue the hard work, you are going to be successful. And I became a real estate agent 2 years ago. I used to be a mortgage broker. I have had some experience in the past. But the main reason that I tried to change it to real estate was the passion. 20 years ago, I became a mortgage broker with having the passion in real estate. But somehow I ended up in mortgages. But finally, I decided to go with the passion, and I chose this path. And I believe so far has been good.
Eunice, what led you to start into real estate? You have an interesting story too.
I just listened to Rod. Hard work pays off sooner or later. Got paid off very fast. In my case, it took more than 10 years. A lot of hard work. So in my case, I landed, I came from Korea. Before I come to Canada, I was working for many, many years as a commercial banker in Korea. And after I came to Canada, I became a CPA and worked for one of the top 4 firms in Vancouver for a few years. And then while I was working as an accountant, I did some real estate investment myself. It was very successful, and I thought oh, I have a talent, and I have found my passion. But I couldn't change my career right away because I was afraid of losing paycheck, and I was not sure if I will be able to do sales part of the business. But after a few years, I had to deal with my difficult time with my personal matters, and then that time I changed my mind and I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and followed my passion.
Great. And Paris, tell us about your start in real estate and why did you decide to become a realtor?
Yeah, so when I finished my studies, my background was in clinical psych. I realized I didn't want to sit behind the desk and do a 9 to 5. I really wanted to just get out there, meet people, socialize, and create a sense of community, build something on that. And one of our friends at the time was a realtor, and she told me personality-wise, I would really fit in. I could really build my own business from the ground up, and I took a leap of faith, and that's where we started. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's great. Just because I know there's some people a little bit far away, let's try to take it all, myself included, try to take it up a little volume notch. So Eunice, you spoke to this a little bit, but tell us, everyone, what type of apprehensions did you have before getting into real estate? What were your insecurities? What challenges did you see happening? What were you worried about, and how did you deal with them?
I believe changing the career is going to be very difficult for everyone. I can tell you about the history of my life. I used to have a bachelor degree in electrical engineering a long time ago. And I studied computer science in the UBC. I graduated in 2001, and I was working as a software engineer. In 2003, I became brave enough just to change it to a mortgage brokerage and starting from zero. Starting from zero is very difficult for everyone. I believe all of you have done the same thing. Maybe you have been in the other industries and you want to start from zero. It's very hard to start from zero, but as long as you know that you are going to be successful and you know yourself that you can do it, for sure you can do it. Always, as I said before, passion, knowledge, and hard working will pay off. And I'm sure the same thing is going to happen to everyone.
Great. Eunice, what things were you nervous about?
As I said, I had passion, great passion, but I wasn't sure if I could actually turn into those passions into an actual money-making business. And I've been working as a behind desk work for over 20 years before, and I was really nervous about getting out there and meeting people and reaching out and selling something which I never done.
Mm-hmm. What was it specifically that made you nervous about that face-to-face sales and getting out there?
Well, selling something to someone is just not my thing. So even back then, thinking about meeting someone and say, what do you think about making real estate, like an investment in real estate, or this is a good property to buy. Even those things make me nervous and sweat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I think a lot of people think that real estate agents, or anyone in sales, you have to be super charismatic and confident.
Yeah, it's not
so
me.
how did you deal with that?
There's no secret, no magic trick to it. You just have to do what you have to do. You have to be truthful because people could see through you. So always be truthful and have a mindset that you are here to help your client. Even if the client doesn't come to you back. This is my role. This is why I chose this profession. I'm here to help. Yeah. And then that ease my nervousness.
Yeah,
so
you're not like, oh, I'm here to sell you something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Paris, what kind of apprehensions did you have before you started?
Yeah. For me, it's always been fear of failing and not really, not being able to make it. So I think that really pushed me to, not letting my, people down. So I think that really pushed me to work harder, and it really gave me the motivation to go for it, because I didn't have a plan B. So if this was it, for me. And like getting your license is not cheap, right? There's the cost of training, getting your license, the funds you have to put aside to be able to pay your your fees every month. So I didn't really have an option B. So I was like, this is it. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna make the best of it. Yeah.
Wonderful, great. Okay, so Rod, as Rookie of the Year and also O Award winner, so O Award is actually the highest sales accolade that we have at Oakwyn, and this is the first time that's ever happened, where someone won both, which is a tremendous accomplishment. Can you summarize what contributed to you achieving that level of success in your rookie year?
Okay, sure. As I said before, I believe working hard is one of the main reasons that everyone can be successful. The other fact is being honest with your clients. Don't be a salesperson. Like I have chosen not to be a salesperson since 20 years ago when I chose the role of being a mortgage broker. I decided to increase my knowledge in real estate. When you are knowledgeable and you can transfer your knowledge to the other people who are the audience, anyone, they are going to be believing in you, and that sales is going to be very easy as long as they know that you are knowledgeable, you know what you are doing, and you are honest. Honesty, I believe, is one of the success that everyone can have, and in a very short and quick time. And what I did, I was, because I knew a lot of people before, and friends, family, clients, past clients, and I called them and I said, I'm not going to do any mortgages anymore. I'm going to be in the real estate, and I'm here to help you. As Eunice said, the best thing is just to help people. I had a coach 20 years ago, and he said, whenever you talk to people and they ask you, what is your job? Say, I'm helping people. And I believe we, as a real estate agents, we are helping people. We are not just after the commission. The commission amount is very good, and we are going to be happy when we see the check. But the most important thing is just if you have helped that person or not. If you are helping, then the commission pays off. If not, then you don't see that commission anymore. Always try to put the interest of your client in front of you, ahead of you, and I believe that's the main success that I had. I had the trust with the people. I called them, and because of the trust that they had with me, they were choosing me as a realtor, even I was new to the real estate. And I believe the same thing is going to happen to everyone. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that's a really great message. I think a lot of people know a lot of people, but whether you're able to actually transfer that into like being a trusted professional and then transitioning from one career to the next. So wonderful. Next question, Eunice, as breakout agent, what influences both internally and externally did you see contribute to your success in actually a year where there was a declining market? What kind of things do you think, you said 10 years, and then you saw the change. What factors do you think contributed to that increase in success?
Well, last year was a slow year, and just like most my realtor colleagues, I had a slow time the second half of the last year. I had a lot of transactions in 2021 and first half of the 2022, and those 2021 transactions closed in 2022, and the first half of the 2022 had a lot of transactions that that attribute to my numbers, and those few months in 2022 was a perfect storm for me in terms of the transactions, and I think that's the reason. And how I got the main transactions, of course, market was good, but the market was good for everybody, and it was good for me more because I've been working with building my client network over 10 years. And they came to me for whatever reason. They decided to buy or sell, and they came to me, so I helped.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you say they were new clients or repeat clients?
Mostly repeat clients. I have, I would say, more than 80% clients are repeat clients.
Wonderful, great job. Would you say also that, when you say this perfect storm, like, did you change anything in your business or the way you managed clients or anything like that? Or was there something else that you would say kind of helped contribute to that? Or was it just like great timing, would you say?
Not only great timing, but also it's, again, it's accumulation of client relationship and my knowledge, my skills dealing with people, and the trust that I've been earning from my clients. That's all combination of those things.
Wonderful, great. Paris. So as Oakwynite of the Year, what can you say about the community at Oakwyn, and how has it affected you both personally and professionally?
Yeah. I think my business really blossomed when I joined Oakwyn. I was at a previous brokerage before, and really coming here allowed me to learn a lot more, have, ways to collaborate with different agents, being able to do things such as open houses for other realtors. Like I remember my first year at Oakwyn, I was doing open houses for different agents, and that year alone, I did nearly 20 deals just from open houses, So I think it allows you to also learn, take more senior agents out for, coffee dates, have a mentor. In that sense, I think it has really helped me, grow. I've built some of the most strongest and loveliest connections I think a person can make in their lifetime with some of the people I met through Oakwyn, so I think, yeah.
Wonderful. You did do, I remember you did a ton of open houses. You were here all weekend.
Yeah, I still do that. I don't miss a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all have thriving businesses. How would you describe your technique for staying organized? Also, I didn't actually, I was going to ask this a little bit before. Where would you say most of your leads or your business is coming from? I know, Rod, I think you do a lot of pre-sales. Is that correct?
Pre-sales,
yes. Yeah. How would you say, especially with pre-sales and you're dealing with different developers and all of these things, how do you stay organized with all of that?
I chose pre-sale last year because I thought that a very good time for a lot of people who want to enter the real estate and choose the pre-sales. Because this year is going to be different, because one of the reasons I told you I'm a little bit successful, as you call it, is because I wake up early morning at 5 o'clock and try to go to sleep at 12. And meanwhile, I'm doing not only the real estate, I'm looking at the economy and everything that you might think of. I talk to people, I go everywhere, I read all the articles, I just follow the economy just to see what's happening in the future. And the reason that I chose pre-sale last year was because I knew that the market is not going to be that good. And if people go to the pre-sales, because of the inflation that we are going to have for the next few years, the price of the units are going to go higher. And if people, with the interest rate very high, it's going to be very hard for a lot of people just to go into the real estate and buy a resale. That's why I chose the pre-sale last year. This year, I believe it's going to be a little bit different because we are expecting that the rates are going to go down next year. And if people can buy anything, it's going to be better for them. But as you said, being organized and talking to a lot of people, including the developers, it's not easy, but I changed my car. I got an electric car. And,
we were just talking about that before.
Exactly. And I am driving I believe every day about 200 kilometers. I go everywhere just to be on top of everything and talk to a lot of people, see all the new developments, all the new open houses everywhere. And that's one of the things that you can consider. You have to go out and just show yourself to everyone, not only the developers, to everyone that you believe they're going to be a source of your lead for the future.
How do you find the energy, just out of curiosity? Because that's, I think a lot of people are probably wondering that right now. What fuels you?
The energy is coming from the passion. Because there is a saying that there are a lot of stress in the real estate. I believe that it's not a stress. I call it a passion. If you don't love what you're doing, any job is going to be a stress. But if you love what you're doing is going to be the passion, and the passion will create energy to go everywhere.
That's a
Yes,
wonderful answer. Eunice, especially like, when things are slow and then all of a sudden you have a big influx, how would you describe how you stay organized and how you stayed organized, especially during that time?
I'm gonna disappoint you with my answers.
That's okay. It's honest, right?
At all. At all. I'm just like I describe myself like a dog on the water. If you know the dog under the water, you just like this.
Yeah.
And the surface above is like
Calm.
peaceful like this. I don't have any system in place either. But if I were to organize, my husband is also a CPA, and he helps me with accounting and taxes, my accounting and taxes. And by looking at my husband's clean, organized desk, I clean up my desk occasionally. Yeah, and I just maybe different from your question. But listening to what Rod says and Paris says, and I think I'm really different. When I go in the beginning of my career, I did hold open house, and for my own listing, I hold my open house. I never ever had one client from my open house because my way of approaching people, or I'm not as friendly as you, or I'm very, I'm not comfortable with talking to strangers. I do my job really well and selling my listing, but I'm not good at engaging with the potential clients and through open house. And also, not like Rod, I don't have much time to, talking to developers or driving around. I have a little one. I married late, and I had our son very late, and I'm still dealing with my, with my kid everyday life, and at the same time, I do my business going on. So it's very unorganized life, but still you can do it.
You know what? I love that too, because I think, and like what I said before, there is this misconception, I think, sometimes that to be in sales, you have to be very, you know what I mean? So how would you say you did find your niche of way of building clientele and a network? Like, how would you describe how you did figure that out in a way that worked for your personality, that was authentic?
I didn't, because I was working in the accounting and finance area, and I came from another country. I didn't have a huge network. I thought I would have some deals from relatives and friends, and nobody gave me.
It happens.
People who to you. And it was difficult. That's why I took more than 10 years to
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Exactly, don't give up. And then there is no, you hit here, you hit there, and then you just get a lot of rules in your mind. Eventually you have some sort of hope there, and then you go through there.
Yeah.
My niche community is later. In the beginning, I was trying to have business in the local community. And in fact, my clientele is maybe 60 Korean community and 40 local. Eventually, my Korean clientele got bigger. That's my.
That's great, because I remember we had a conversation a month or so ago, and you said that was something that you were really nervous about getting into real estate, as English is obviously your second language, and also everyone she was pretty nervous about doing this. So I want to say you're doing a wonderful job. But yeah, that's a wonderful story of making it work and figuring it out. Paris, tell us, how, you have a thriving business. How do you stay organized, and what decisions did you make that helped attribute to your business and how it runs?
Yeah. So like I said, I started my business mostly just doing open houses, trying to find ways that initially don't cost a lot of money but could potentially produce for me. So open houses, it's free. You can do them every weekend. So that's how I did. And then when I was getting clients from that, and my main focus and still to this day is how am I going to stand out compared to the agents, that is potentially competing for the same for the same client. I made sure my clients feel like they feel like they're my only clients, it never wanted to come off as like a sales person rather than me helping them and guiding them through a process. So I made sure all my clients feel like I will have their best interest in mind, I will put them first, and I will guide them through this chapter in a seamless manner. So it is the right decisions for them. When I was doing my open houses and getting leads, I knew that long term, I really wanted to build a referral-based business. So providing good service, like really paying attention to your clients, is super important because they'll refer their friends and their neighbors and colleagues and all that. So in my now 6th year, I think my business has really transferred to more referral-based, and it's almost like farming in a sense, whereas the hardest parts are in the beginning, and then you just have to keep watering your crops to be able to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. So what is a lesson or some lessons that you learned last year that you are planning to apply to your business this year or moving forward? You spoke a little bit about that, but from your first year or second year to now, what lessons are you applying in your business now?
Electric
car?
Yes, that's one of the reasons. I say being organized is very important in any business. And so far I have been the only one in my business that I try to stay organized. I have a wife, that I have 2 kids, and I have to take care of them, and she's taking care of me very well. That's one thing. I asked her to come to Oakwyn, and she has joined me recently. Oh. And I owe it to her, because without her, I wouldn't be successful. Yeah, she is the one who can help me. Raising the kids is very important, and at the same time, I want to be a good father. I cannot be sometimes because being on the road and meeting other people is not easy. But one of the lessons is I need to have a team, and hopefully I'm going to build up a team soon, because the theme of the year was Unite, and I like to be united with a lot of people, and I believe everyone has the potential to work as a team and make the team better. My goal is this year be more organized in this kind of steps. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a great answer. And all the best luck to your wife and you joining a team together.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Eunice, what's a lesson that you learned last year that you're applying to your business this year?
Market corrections are inevitable. So what I learned is I have to have the plan to get through the market corrections. And my plan, I was, what should I do in this market? Well, first I have to take care of my health. And second, I have to keep connecting with my client. I created this network of my clients, and I have an ongoing conversation with my clients about the market conditions and the timing. What is the timing, buying or selling? And then just keep connecting with the clients. That will give me, building the stronger relationship. And when time comes up, then again, the storm will come up. And then my goal every year is being organized, but I'm not good at it. And then it's never, and then I try to be, and then it's difficult, so it's a good idea to have your wife to come on the board, and I will convince my husband to come on board. Yeah.
Actually, she was one of the reasons that I became a real estate agent. Yeah, she became a real estate agent first, and then she became very busy, and she asked me to change the career. One of the reasons I forgot to tell in advance. Yes.
Okay, my husband said don't be an agent. Stay in the accounting industry together, but I don't know.
And Rod was an amazing, I mean, I don't know if you still are licensed, but you're an amazing mortgage broker too. I remember when I got licensed first, I would go to him for like all my questions and things. So it's really nice that, you know, you're at Oakwyn now. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, yeah.
Paris, what lessons did you learn last year that you applied to your business and are applying?
All right. Yeah. So this lesson, I have to give 100% credit to Gary because he taught me, if you've been in the business, he's amazing. He's incredible. He's my mentor, and yeah, anyway, he's wonderful. He told me that if you've been in the business for a while, you should figure out what's your value per hour is, and you know, you should not be doing simple tasks like sky slope and you know, admin things. So delegating those tasks would be nice. So you spend more time on prospecting. So I've been, you know, doing that this year more, and you know, so that's been really good because it's allowed me to prospect more, get more leads, grow my business even more. Yeah. Because you can only do so many deals on your own when you're not with the admin work really adds up. So it's best to, you know.
Wonderful. That's great advice.
Yes. Thanks.
Sorry, my. So obviously we have a lot of agents here who are fresh out of Oakwyn University. What advice would you have for someone who's looking to start a career in real estate? Even like things you learned yourself that you wish you did differently. Rod.
Okay, sure. As I said in the beginning, work hard. That's the thing that you need to focus, work hard. Try to increase your knowledge in real estate, economy, and everything else that is related to the real estate. Stay in touch with people. Be in touch with the managing brokers. They have been great in anyone successful in Oakwyn. Because this is the first brokerage that I started working, and I owe it to a friend of mine. His name is Ben Omidwar, because he came to Oakwyn and he said they're a great team, very nice team, very good managing brokers, and he asked me to come here. Always ask questions from the managing brokers. They are great. Every time that I have a question, as soon as I send a text or email, they are in touch with me and they answer. Because everyone needs help, and don't be scared of asking for help, because they are here to help you. And I believe that's what you can do. Stay in touch with people. Don't be scared. Don't quit. It's going to pay off. Be consistent at what you are supposed to do. If you need to change your way of doing business, do it. Don't be scared. As Eunice said, try to hit as many roads as possible. You will find your own way eventually, but it might take 1 year, it might take 20 years or 10 years. But be consistent, and I'm sure you're going to be successful. That's the lesson that I have learned, not in real estate, in everything else.
Wonderful. That's great. Eunice?
I would say face your fear and any challenges. And don't come to this profession if your sole goal is to make money. Because if you have the mindset that you want to help your client make the best real estate investment decision in their life, then you're going to be successful. You know, they know you will be their advocate when time comes, buying and selling, they will come to you.
Wonderful, that's
Just
great.
take time, not more than 10 years though. Hopefully.
And I think it would be pretty much the same thing for me. If you're a new realtor, reach out to your sphere of influence. You don't have to spend a lot of money initially to start. There's so many free ways that you can go out and get business. Open houses is one. I've done it all, like open houses, door knocking, reaching out with past I don't know, neighbors, your current friends, letting everyone know that you've got your license, just putting yourself out there. Don't be shy. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And then, like I said, open houses, keep doing them, whether it's 2 open houses a weekend, 4 open houses a weekend. You got to keep doing it, not give up, and then reach out for inspiration. I think our brokerage is so nice in that there's a sense of unity amongst all of us, is that we are all, trying to better ourselves and, grow our businesses. So, set up those coffee dates with a more senior agent, build a mastermind. I've built plenty of masterminds, like just different ways to learn. And yeah, I would say.
Wonderful, great advice. Great advice from all. And yeah, also big shout out to our managing broker team. We have a couple of them here. Yeah. They'd always rather you ask first. Okay, so you touched on this a little bit, Rod. I think this is my last question, but Oakwyn's theme of the year for 2023, as you said, is Unite. What does the word Unite mean to you, and how do you apply it to your business? I feel like you kind of answered it, but I'll let you go again in case you have a new spin for that.
Yeah, I believe that being united and having a unity is very important. Like, in my business, whoever has come to me, I'm ready to give advice, free of charge. And the same thing is going to happen. Like, anyone who is going to help you, who is ready to get your help, just help. Give them advice, try to make a team, work together. We are in an industry that there are a lot of competition. And I say there are lots of realtors everywhere. And it doesn't mean that the other realtors, they're not going to be your help. Everyone can help and make yourself successful, and you can help them be successful. I believe being everyone successful in this industry is very important, just to stay in this business for a long term. That's my goal of this year especially. Yes.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we were hoping people would take from the theme. Eunice, what does the word Unite mean to you, and how can you apply it to your business and life?
Well, I've been with Oakwyn University for the past few years, and before that, I had 4 realty firms previously, and then none of them working together like Oakwyn. And then we have weekly Monday meetings, and Oakwyn podcast, and Oakwyn book club, and university, and we have amazing staff and managing brokers. They answer the phones and text messages right away, give us answer no matter what time I call. I called Joe at Saturday 11:13. And he said, yeah, and then he said, what's up? And he said, before, and then the other, I don't want to put down other managing brokers, but then I was not there to call that late time. But think that there are people here that I can reach out to anyone for guidance and assistance. And that's, to me, it's a unite. People are here to help each other. So, we, as an Oakwyn, I think I feel really lucky to be a member of the team, and it's a great team of professionals working towards to reach their own goals.
Paris, what does Unite mean to you?
I think there is so much strength in unity. There are so many ways for us to collaborate, and there's enough business to go around for everyone. I don't see it as competition. I think we can all work together to lift each other up and be there for each other and share tips and advice. And I think that's why the theme is really special to me, because I always look for ways to unite with whether more senior agents or newer agents to give back what I've learned and the mistakes I've made in the past. So, set up those coffee dates. I would love to take some of you out on coffee dates, things that would allow me to, share what I'm learning.
Wonderful. Yeah, you're a very generous young lady, I have to say that. Questions and answers. Anyone have any questions? Everyone shy? No? Any questions?
I have a question for Paris.
Yes.
You've been so successful at Open House. Can you kind of tell us
Yeah.
agents? Do you have a sign-in sheet? How do you follow up?
So with that, I actually have, in the past few weeks, have had agents shadow me. So I would love to offer that. Like if you're, and I have quite a few listings coming up in the next few weeks. So if you're a new agent, totally hit me up, DM, whatever. And then you can just come and watch me do an open house. Then you can learn. I think the most important thing is not being on your phone, standing in the lobby, not sitting in the suites, just being present. And then if the unit's vacant, maybe ask the agent that has the listing if you can do even weekday open houses. I remember I think I've said this many times, but my first deal was a $2 million deal at the Elan building, 1255 Seymour. I got the deal because the guy saw me sitting there like 4 days a week, just like saying hi to everyone. And he's like, oh, you're here all the time. My parents are buying, come and have a chat with us. Right, and they bought 2 weeks after. That took like 3 months to get, but it was well worth it. I think it's also important not to be like super pushy and salesy, but like the others said, try to provide a service, and like help them and guide your clients through the process rather than, try to offer something and then try to take something from them. I think that's my big lesson. But like I said, would love to have you guys like shadow me. I mean, yeah, 100%.
To add one thing that I heard, which I never be able to successful to implement, is one of the successful realtor told me how you get potential client through the open house is you try to sell that specific listing that you have. Explain everything about it, good thing about it, everything, and still you see that person is not showing interest, and then say something other things that this house doesn't offer, then you have to offer, because you have to have a knowledge first, and then you have to offer about this neighborhood, that neighborhood, and this house is listing, that house is listing, so that you show your knowledge to the person, then the person will come to, oh, okay, I don't have the agent, so that, that's how you build, and then.
And to add to that, like when I was doing my open house, which I still am obviously doing, learn your market. So if the person that comes in, they're like, oh, I saw another listing at, I don't know, 1438 Richards, say, oh, Azora, I know that building, and I saw that listing at the past week's agents open. So I think being familiar with the inventory is very, very important. It'll be like, oh, that girl, she knows what she's talking about, she's on it. So yeah, rather than just being clueless, I think it definitely makes a big, big difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yeah, and agent opens are also something that I think in terms of a value add that you can add to yourself for that information, education, such a good thing to do. And you're supporting your other agents too. Yeah. Great. Any other questions? Yes?
This question's for Eunice. So if I understand correctly, you've been basically cultivating your database for like 10 years and then harvesting in 2022.
Yeah.
How do you keep in touch with people? Like, do you call them twice a month for 10 years?
No, actually, I'm not good at it because I'm not an organized person. And unless they call me, friend-wise, I don't call. That's my the basic character. But when it comes to client, the maximum that I contact would be like twice a year. I don't call them regularly, and maybe end of the year say Merry Christmas and have a happy holiday time, and then maybe in summertime it's summer. That's basically that's how I keep in touch.
I find a lot of new agents, they get their license and then it's like, now what do I do? I think time blocking is really important. What is a typical week for you that you time block and set up, and that are your sort of your rocks in your day to get your business going?
For me, it doesn't matter. It stays every day. Every day that I start the business, I try to be in touch with people, if I understood the question correctly. The time-wise, just as Eunice and Paris were saying, the best is just to be out. Try to show everywhere that you can. and the business is coming, and especially for the weekends that you have an open house, it's very important just to organize it before. Talking to a lot of people that show your ability, that you are able to sell their house, it comes first. Organizing from the first day in Monday is the best thing to do. And as I always watch all the events that are happening in Oakwyn early morning, Joe has a meeting early at 10 o'clock, and you guys have another meeting at 10 o'clock. This is the time that you can start organizing everything for the rest of the week. That's my say of being organized.
Great. All right. So thank you all. Oh, yes, Darius?
Add something. I take this opportunity to thank Paris for that, because she picked me as a client at her open house 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm agent now.
He was my client. This is bad, the confidentiality, but yeah, he was. He was. I picked him out on open house, yes. And then now he's a successful realtor. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Great story. All right, any other questions?
I have one question.
Yes, absolutely.
So our job as real estate agent obviously is to protect our clients' interest, to think from their standpoint. But at some point, we do need to be a little bit more salesy. Like, you need to give them a little bit more help and push, because, for example, they might be in the market looking for half a year now and not made a decision. How do we find a good balance between looking after them and be a little bit more salesy?
Yeah. I think it's going to come down to the client. Sometimes I feel like clients, they have to learn the lesson on their own, that, you know, if they keep putting lowball offers, it's not going to work, right? And with time, they'll learn that we're really not getting the product that we want. So I think just seeing the type of client you're working with, but also providing insight as to, okay, so the last 3 listings that we've looked at, or the last sales that have happened, have all been in this dollar per square foot. You know, having the stats really speak for you, I think that really could help, you know, putting, yes. So, yeah, exactly. So the way I see it is, don't tell them what to do, show them the tools and like what's happening in the market with either the stats or the sales that have happened in the building or the neighborhood, and then let that be your guide as to, you know, having your clients write that, you know, the right price that you actually want.
I can add to what Paris is saying. Sometimes it's very difficult to stay with one client for a long time. Whenever I get a client, I tell them it might take 1 or 2 years to buy a house. And recently I bought a house for my client. He started searching for the house about 15 months ago. And I believe I showed more than 110 houses to them in different times. And finally they found. And I was believing that in one point I will lose this client, because I might get tired, he might get tired. But because of a state focus on his, I got 3 or 4 more clients coming from his side. And that's very important, because that's what you're showing yourself, that you are not putting your interests ahead of his interests. And this is the way of doing the business. And you might lose that client, but you remember, by showing a lot of houses, by staying focused, even if you lose, you are learning a lot. And that knowledge that you are getting from losing might be much more helpful in the future.
Yes?
Kind of a follow-up question to that. Thanks for sharing your secrets. This is great. When you're dealing with, so up in Whistler, we have a lot of clients that are more, it's not quick buys, it's we're looking kind of something from a year from now, 2 years from now, and whatever. What's kind of, would you suggest like a good communication process with somebody that's expressed, hey, I'm not rushing this, I'm going to take my time, and you obviously don't want to be like, hey, I found something this week, how'd you like that, what you think, like you don't want to bombard them, but you obviously want to let them know, hey, I'm still checking in on you, I'm working with you, we're looking. I didn't want to move, I thought it was
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
So do you guys have any advice on kind of same thing, just keeping that communication open, but understanding that this is a lengthier process?
So on the buy side, right?
On the buy side.
Okay. So
yeah.
I really like Collaboration Center, because when you set them up on that, it gives them an option to like favorite listings. You know, if the client's like, oh, I want to buy in like 6 months to a year from now, I don't like call them every week. So I set them up on the Collab Center, and then that gives them a chance to like or favorite listings are possible. And then when I see a client has favorited a listing, then I reach out to them. Also figure out like what's the best method of communication. It doesn't always have to be a call. You know, not everyone wants to be like called to. So like texting could be one. Just like periodic check-ins, so they know you haven't forgotten about them, but also like don't contact them like super often. Yeah, but I would say Collab Center, it will be your like, I don't know if you use that right now.
Shelly just told us all about it.
Yes, so Shelly is the queen. Yeah, so Collab Center. Yeah. There you go, you know, exactly. So it's great because it sends them listings, and then you can filter it so it doesn't send like 20 listings a day. It can go like 3 times a week, so they're not overwhelmed. And then obviously having your calendar to do like periodic check-ins with them, so that way they know, like I said, you haven't forgotten about them, and yeah.
Yeah, I use that a lot too, because the great way to know what my clients prefer in favorite homes, so that when time comes and when I actually show the properties, then I know what property they like, and then just show those properties. Then there's a higher chance to get the deal done.
Yeah. And then when you call to check in, just like ask open-ended questions and let them see like if they have any questions, or so they can communicate with you in that sense. Yeah.
Great. All right, thank you. And thank you so much for agreeing to do this. This is what Oakwyn is all about, which is collaborating, sharing our secrets, being collaborative over competitive. So really appreciate all of you giving us your time, and you gave us 3 very distinct perspectives. And thank you so much. And Shelly also has something special. I'll pass this over.
Great. So for those of you that were in the cohort this term, I was going to open it up to people who have not got to their first licensing renewal yet. So anybody in your first 2 years in the business, we're going to have a Oakwyn challenge. So what this is it's 100 deals in 90 days, but wait, it's practice. So every contract that you practice, whether it's a listing or a sale, save it into a Google folder. Each one gets a point, but if you get a live deal, if you actually get a live deal, that's worth 5 points. So on September 1st, we'll tally it up, and everybody who does the work will go out for dinner. And we'll have a real big celebration. So this is an assignment that I've given to a lot of agents over the last few months, when people are coming to me and saying, oh, there's just the business has slowed up, I just feel like I'm not doing anything. And then when they would get an actual deal, they hadn't practiced doing the paperwork because they were so focused on how many listings came out today, on getting my marketing package ready. They were doing so many things about working on their business, but we really need to work in the business. And that's what's so sort of intense about our business. If you're not writing deals and you get out of practice of working the paperwork, when you then get a live one, oh, we got a live one here, they want to write an offer, they want to list with me. I get, managing brokers get those panic calls like, oh my God, I've got a deal, what do I do? What do I do? Well, we're gonna solve that. We're gonna solve that, and one of my proudest things to hear from other experienced agents in the field is, oh my God, Oakwyn writes great contracts. So that's the challenge. I'll get it in the O Weekly this week, but it's 100 deals in basically, 90 days. We're gonna start it June, July, August, but you can start racking them up now. but the official start date is June because I want to make it fair because we probably had 8 people in the class who got to even just 2 weeks ago without their V number. We still have 3 people in the class that just were so gung-ho to get into real estate that they came and joined Oakwyn before they even had their license active. And I just think that's been so awesome to see that level of dedication. And just know that the entire Oakwyn family is here to support you. When I see people like Paris, I remember, like, we still did Oakwyn University in the boardroom because there was maybe 10 or 12 of us at the time. But I just knew she was going to be great because A, she has a great attitude. I came to one of her open houses this weekend and her flowers were blowing over and it was a blustery, terrible day and she's still, hi, how's it going? You know, just don't let anything ruffle her, and she's just so kind and so friendly to everybody. So you know what? That's what makes you attractive to your clients is no matter, you know, stuff's blowing off the patio and it's all, you know, crazy, but you're still like, hi, welcome, come see my listing. So congratulations to all of you. We have a little gift for all of our graduates, and I think I've got 8 people who can come see me for their sweater, and I'll tell you guys who it is after.
We have some delicious cupcakes and some snacks.